All right, Show Me the Money, Super Bowl betting edition here, the final edition of Show Me the Money for the 2025 NFL season. With me today to wrap it all up here, one of the co-hosts of the Sorry to Interrupt podcast. We talked back in week 12. Tom Bocchino was here. Tom, welcome. How are you?
What's going on, man? Pleasure to be here. I cannot. That was so long ago. I can't remember how I did. Do you remember?
I looked this up here. I think I had three of you guys on. You all went 1 and 2 when you were on the podcast.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Gotta love it, man.
consistency.
Consistency is key.
Yes, you guys are very consistent here. And before we get to the big game betting, which is what we're going to talk about here, we're going to make our very early picks of the game. We are recording this the Tuesday of the first Tuesday after the conference championship game. So we locked our line in early for the purpose of the pod because I have a lot of scheduling going on. I'm sure we got this out to you guys on time. So if Tom changes his mind on his own podcast, don't get mad at him.
I appreciate the caveat. It was more of a request out of me. But yeah, it's a little early, but I'm here, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah, and we're gonna give you ideas here. So like you will have a full like a lot of time to digest these ideas and think about what's going on here.
For sure. I can probably play this game over in my head about 30 times and change my mind a bunch of different times. But I mean, as Jets fans, we're going to talk about that crap that's going on as well. Like, we are rooting so hard for Seattle. It's not even funny. We talked about it before the pod started. Like, this national media, oh, the Jets fans this must be their worst nightmare. No,
Oh,
we are bleeding whatever color patina you want to call the Seahawks colors. That's what we're bleeding these next 2 weeks.
I feel it's like a teal.
Teal, yeah, teal and navy, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because when they have the green, it's kind of tealish.
I agree with you. We'll take the teal and we're rocking teal and navy this week for two reasons. One, because the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, and this is just absolute bullshit. I mean, this is unbelievable. On top of the fact that our baby boy, I call him my baby boy, Sam Darnold, is in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, the Jets wronged him in a lot of ways, but we're not going to talk about that specifically here. But on the day of
Kind of.
recording, on the day of recording here, the Jets made some more very stupid decisions here. They announced today they're quote unquote parting ways with OC Tanner Engstrand, which is code for he wanted to leave when they told him we're not letting you call plays anymore. So at this point, they took a guy who you would say, Tom, like not great, but he showed some promise last year.
Given the tools he had, I mean, the fact that he got Brees Hall going at all was a miracle. So I agree with you. And I just love how you you just go straight into your opinion. You're like a stupid decision that the Jets made.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about this here. This is now year two for Aaron Glenn. He's basically fired half his coaching staff from year one to year two. He's replacing two coordinators, and it sounds like we're going down the retread route with the favorites as of recording time being Frank Reich for OC and Wink Martindale for DC. Though, Tom, I don't know if you're aware about this. They brought Wink Martindale in for an interview during the snowstorm last weekend. Didn't get the deal done. Now they did another first round interview today, so they don't know what to do with that on the process either. But
I mean,
like,
all the planes were grounded. You got the guy in the building, and you can't get a deal done. I mean, it's kind of awkward that you have to bring him back. And this is, I mean, it's frustrating at the fact that like, I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm just so beaten down that I'm not dumbfounded. I'm not upset. And this is par for the course. I would be more surprised if they did something competent.
yeah, I
And
mean,
it's like, we can't be up in arms about this. Let's just let them keep digging themselves down. That's the point we're at.
yeah, well, the problem here is, if you wanted to change the play caller, you're waiting 23 days into the offseason when most of the good candidates found jobs already. So you're picking from the bottom of the barrel to begin with. And now you have basically, a coach who can't be who said half my staff was built wrong. Why'd this coach get a second year?
Uh, it's unbelievable. It's like how, and I always do this in sports, right? I will always compare people's performances on the field to people in real life. You know, like if you go out and you throw 5 picks, it's like that would be like a day where you go to work without your pants on. Like you should be fired. That's a fireable offense. Um, and you think about it in aspects of this, and it's just like if a company did this like over and over and over again, like, what would happen? Like, how do we continue to let them get away with this? I assume because they're privately owned, and
Because
the owner is the problem.
correct. And I don't know if you saw this stat today. Like over the past, like I think 16 years, which is basically the length of the Jet playoff drought, they have not had the same offensive coordinator for more than two full seasons in a row. They've had
It's almost
13.
like even if he sucks, let's just see. Maybe we'll buck the trend and keep him around a third year and F around and make the playoffs. It's like, and then Wink, why would Wink even want to go through this after the horror that he went through towards the end of his Giants career? And he's going to go into the same building in a worse situation with a worse team that is a bigger joke? Why would he do that?
Yeah, I don't get it either. It's just the incompetence in this building is astounding. And like as much as like people have not reported this yet, you can almost guarantee Woody Johnson had his hand in this one here because they feel like he definitely weighed in here and said, "This is not good enough, Aaron. You got to fix it." He's just throwing a bunch of people overboard, trying to save face with Woody.
I mean, that's the one thing you can give him credit for is like he spends the money, but it's like I don't care at this point when you're such a joke. Like I'm not even going to give him credit for that at this point. I guess it's just like literally not.
I give him zero credit. I just say
Can negative credit be given out?
like this is like stupidity points in terms of like just looking at this and like this is going on. My coach, who I hired last year, like saw my team play historically bad down the stretch and throws half his coaches over the board. Why am I giving him a second year?
Well, let's hash this out. How does it get any worse from here? Like what's the next step? What would have to happen next in order for you to be like, okay, this is even worse than what just conspired?
They draft a quarterback and Aaron Glenn is fired 6 games of the season.
Oh, yeah. Well, I asked you what was going to be worse. I didn't ask you to predict the fucking future.
Yeah.
Because that's unfortunately, bro, that is not only the path we're going down, that is the most likely outcome to this. He will be fired. We will have a lame duck everyone. Like it's just going to be the same thing it's been for the last 16 years. It is infuriating. I There's no control. What can we do? By the way, I just went to Home Depot. I bought a crate. I am putting anything that's Jets related in that crate, and I will not take it out until they make the playoffs again. That's a pact I've made with myself.
You might as well just put it in a time capsule that's buried in the ground because the time capsule comes up, the might actually be good again.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. My great 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 grandkids will probably be digging that thing up.
Yeah, and I will also add a note here. Like, whenever they do inevitably fire Aaron Glenn, like you can just put it in the bank that whoever the hot defensive coordinator is will be the next Jet head coach because Woody only hires one type of coach. And there's reporting going on. I think Mike Tannenbaum, who was in the search process last year, said that they were prioritizing leaders of men over X's and O's, and they went back 30 years for hiring trends. Whereas this is again more signs of stupidity. Like, guys, like the NFL has changed dramatically since like 2010. Like, why are we going back to the 1996 season for hiring practices?
I'm fine with leaders of men. We just can't hire idiots here. I mean,
Well, they said they
like
prioritize leaders of men over X's and O's.
I've been screaming that we need more leaders of men in there, but like when you throw X's and O's completely to the wind, then it's just like, I mean, and then it just makes you kind of question the whole Detroit thing too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let me Google how's Woody Johnson's health? Does he have anything going on? Are we going to be losing him soon? Not that I'm rooting for it.
I think like honestly, your more realistic hope is that like somehow he's in the Epstein files that have been completely buried.
Oh yeah, well I think I said that one of the last times I was on your thing. That I'm rooting for that, obviously for the big man himself as well. But I mean, he's number two for me in there. But I don't think he's going to survive a long time because he's the heir to the Johnson and Johnson whatever. I mean, that's a pharmaceutical. If there's anybody close enough to the fountain of youth, it's him.
Well, also you remember here, like they were good his first decade here because Bill Parcells and Eric Mangini built him a foundation. And once that foundation ran out, he had no idea how to do it himself.
It absolutely crumbled. And again, if you look back to the last time the Jets have had success with Rex Ryan, like that was kind of the tail end of that foundational team right there.
Yeah, and this is and the owner thinks like has no like self awareness of what's going on here. Think he's the guy, classic guy who's born on third base, thinks he had triple.
Yeah, self-awareness is like such a good way to put it. It's unbelievable. Like we can all just see this building burning to the ground and he's just standing inside of it like everything's okay.
Yeah. I didn't think they could get to me the offseason, but the way that this Engstrand thing played out, just like screaming like guys, like what the hell are we
They
doing?
just said hold my beer, dude. Like
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as you where it's like you go through as a Jets fan, you go through those stages and unfortunately they happen very early on in the season where by week 4, you've kind of accepted it. And then by typically, depending on the cycle, by week 8, you've got an interim head coach and you're okay with it. By now, we've accepted it. You and I, you're a Mets fan. You've moved on to all these signings and basketball and hockey and whatnot, college basketball. Like the fact that I'm even pissed off about the Jets makes me even angrier. Like I'm double pissed off. The fact that they thought that they could get to me in January and they still did.
Yeah. I mean, you're coming up on the end of February, end of January, but you're getting close to like what, 3 weeks away from the combine where you have no coordinators, you have like no plan, and like I'm supposed to trust them to make all these premium picks over the next couple of
And then
years.
guess what they're going to do? They're going to reach for a quarterback. It's not going to be a reach at the time because you know that one of these guys that's at number 2 is going to get hyped up. They're going to reach for him. And then guess what? We're going to be Zach Wilson all over again.
I don't think there's a quarterback at two. I could see maybe 16 with the
Trading
Alabama
back. Oh, yeah,
guy.
maybe.
I could see the second round being, okay, we'll grab, maybe like Cade Klubnik or like one of these other guys
You
who,
see if there's a riser in the draft, too, though. There always is.
yeah, we were only talking about Tyler Shuck at this point last year.
I mean, I'm very nervous that they are going to do. I mean, nervous. I'm very sure they're going to do something stupid.
Yeah, it just goes to show you as like the playoff drought that they're in is gonna like be even more magnified because it looks like Buffalo is finally snapping his NHL drought. It's gonna be in the playoffs this year. So in a league,
Oh no.
yeah, in a league where it's designed for everybody to get to the middle quickly. The fact that since 2010 they've been through 4 separate rebuilds and not have had one winning season that span just tells you all you need to know about the incompetence at the top.
I mean, and that's kind of why I texted you today, and I'm just kind of rooting on them to just like keep digging and like let's actually like see where rock bottom's at, hit it, and then start to just like I honestly
Yeah.
think all the
The problem is there is no bottom. They just find a new way to go further down.
well, I don't know. At some point, hopefully, we have like a revolt. Maybe we have something like a Donald Sterling situation where like they have to step in. Like I don't know, man. I I don't think the Jets are capable physically of getting better to the point where they're going to make the playoffs. So now I'm doing the reverse. I'm rooting for them to get so bad that Woody is just like he has to sell. Maybe he gets a Godfather offer from Bezos or something, and Bezos is like, I need something to do on Sundays in the morning, so I'll just buy the Jets for a reason to watch football.
Yeah. You're hoping basically that like they get so bad that Goodell just steps in and says, okay, I'm foisting somebody competent on you and you're going to let them do all the work.
Exactly. Like I
Yeah.
thought we were kind of there after today, but clearly we're not. So let's keep digging.
Yeah. All right. Enough about the Jets. Let's get to the Super Bowl
Let's
situation
talk about
here.
some teams that are playing.
Yeah. Obviously here. So we got this game here. Pats Seahawks. Obviously, like one of the longest of long shots going into the season. I think the combined odds, I think it was like I think their win totals were like 7.5 for the Seahawks, 8.5 for the Patriots. They're playing Super Bowl here. What are you watching for in the game itself?
I mean, for me, it's just me personally. I'm rooting for a blowout. Seahawks 41-0. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen, but that's what I'm watching for because I'm hoping my baby boy Sam Darnold goes out and gets an MVP and he does his own little digging and throwing a little more dirt on the Jets' grave. And it's just all Seahawks all day. What are you rooting for? I hope you're rooting for the same thing.
Yeah, we're definitely in alignment on that here. I feel like obviously the Patriots going through the magic carpet ride of going through basically the worst quarterbacks possible in the playoffs and a 391 winning percentage of opponents in the regular season, I think does make them reasonable underdogs here. And as far as we'll push back on the media narrative as well, but oh, this is the worst case scenario for the Jet fan in the Super Bowl. We get to watch Sam Darnold take on the Patriots. Like, no, it's not. Like us Jet fans know that Sam got screwed by the Jets, and we are all on board. Sam getting his due as a great NFL quarterback and basically like reminding Woody Johnson that you screwed up very badly.
1000%. I think it would be a very fitting way to end this season. And the one thing we can't have is the Patriots winning because, again, I said it on our pod a little, probably yesterday that, they had the greatest quarterback and the greatest coach. Okay. So that's fair. They got that dynasty. But now this is bullshit. Okay. They barely did a rebuild. And now they get to get Vrabel and Drake May and stumble into that. That's not fair. I'm calling like the football gods. I don't know what us New York sports fans in general, because all the teams suck, did, but we clearly have some reconciling to do.
Even the rest of the league, because I mean, like when you go through a period where you make the Super Bowl like 9 times in 20 years and win six, and like you only get to sit through a rebuild for 5 years where one of them you make the playoffs. That's
I
like
mean, yeah, you
that's
talked
bullshit.
about you
That's
talked about
bullshit.
how this league is built to have parity and not to have this, and this one's not fair because I think there was a lot more luck involved with this one.
Yeah, well, this also involved like I will give Robert Kraft this. Like he was very smart to fire Mayo when he did, and the rest of the league was dumb for letting Mike Vrabel sit on the sidelines for a full season, including
Hmm.
our team, who should have fired Sal after 23 and brought Mike Vrabel in. But like, if Robert,
If he ever, I don't think he would have taken it, but
I mean, he was basically going to take the job last year, from what we were told, until the Patriots jumped in.
that's what we were told. But I wish.
Like it sounded like for the time that that's where that was trending until the Patriots like got involved, and he was just immediately on there.
Yeah. I like that he probably used the Jets, but it is what it is. I'm
I
used
mean,
to getting
if,
used.
if the Patriots are not on the board at that point and the Bears do go Ben Johnson, like the Jets with their endless opportunity there probably like are the appealing spot for Vrabel.
I agree with you in that sense. Now I just think it's like, they say, oh, there's only so many coaching jobs in the NFL. I just think maybe you subtract one and put the Jets to the side.
All right, let's go to some betting angles for the game itself
Let's do
here.
it.
So in terms of we'll go with different bunch of betting options here. The line is basically opened at 4.5 for the Seahawks, which I think Tom, this is probably one of the higher lines we've seen for a Super Bowl in recent memory.
I think so. I mean, but again, it is fitting given where the Patriots were and also like you said, the magic carpet ride. I mean, can you like do I have to pull up their schedule? Like, did they play anybody this year?
They played Buffalo twice.
And they went 1-1?
Yep.
Okay.
They played the NFC South. They played the AFC North. They beat the and they had a lot of good luck with the backup quarterbacks playing in those games too, because a lot of those teams like I remember Lamar Jackson gets hurt in the Raven game. They played the Bengals without Burrow. They played a lot of teams that without their starting quarterback.
Yeah, and like listen, they're here, so credit where credit's due. They won where they had to, but when it comes to making a spread, that's why it makes sense.
Yeah, and a lot of teams you that they play you to fire their head coaches after the year, which tells you a lot also.
Listen, we can keep digging their grave, but if they're holding that Lombardi and we're not, like they're just gonna be flipping us the bird.
Yeah, so anyway, the spread 4.5 here, one of the bigger spreads we've got in recent memory here. So I think it's an interesting number because like the advanced stats and stuff would make you think, oh, like Seahawks have one of the best defenses in the league. Sam Darnold just shredded a very good Rams defense. You lay the number here. The Patriots not done much on offense here, but they are basically, I think, my guess is going to sit here between now and Super Bowl Sunday around this range. Maybe it goes up to 5, maybe it goes down to 4, but like I think this is the right range here. I think they're going to try and find that number to get people to bet the Patriots and take the points.
I agree with you 100%. I think it's the perfect number. And that's probably the problem with gambling nowadays. It's gotten too popular and too good. I mean, this is right where it needs to be. Um, and that's why when you see that hook, that half point hook, I just hate it so much.
Yeah, it's designed to get you to want the Patriots.
Exactly. And I'm right now I'm taking the nine. Excuse me, I'm taking the Seahawks. How about you?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we jumped ahead a little bit. So, all right. So let's go a couple of angles here. The total right now as of recording time, 45.5 points, which is, I believe last year's game was in the 50s, if I remember correctly, was the Chiefs and the Eagles here. I think
Hmm.
this says a lot to me about like, we don't trust the Patriot offense to put up the points here against the Seahawks.
Yeah, a bit of a It feels like they're predicting a bit of a slop fest.
Yeah.
Like it seems to me with this line and with this total that they're thinking that the Patriots aren't going to do much most of the game and that Darnold's going to get off to a slow start.
Yeah. So how would you play this right now? Where would you lean?
I mean, with this number makes you sit there and think about taking the under.
Yeah, because like 24-17 gets you to what, 41 points?
Hmm.
I feel like that's the kind of game you're looking at right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those ones where like there may be a lot going on in between the red zones. Like there might be a lot of yardage had in this game, but there just might not be a lot of scoring that comes out of it.
So I could see definitely a lot of settling for field goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're going to look at it and it's going to be like, well, Smith and Jigba hit is over and this guy hit his over, but like where are all the points? And it's I think that both of these teams might end up stalling a bit in the red zone.
Yeah, let's go to the money line here as well. As of recording time, Seahawks minus 238, which is a pretty decent favorite
It's
for a
pretty
Super
healthy.
Bowl. It's pretty hefty for a Super Bowl. The Pats at plus 195. It's the first time they've been an underdog in the Super Bowl since Super Bowl 36, which is Brady's first one. So, like, are you touching the money line whatsoever?
No, I'm maybe a little sprinkle on the Pats just to have it, just to maybe have a winning ticket if everything goes against what my prediction is here. But like, and this just sets up for the nobody believes in us situation, and and Vrabel's gonna get them all riled up, man. Things are not looking good for us.
Yeah, I did look. Yeah, I do see here. There's like, according to DraftKings, where I'm looking at my numbers right now, as of recording time here, 57% of the money line handle is on the Patriots.
Yeah, I think that's insurance. I think everybody's putting in their props and their spread bets and whatnot on on the Seahawks, and then they're throwing a little bit of insurance on the Patriots money line.
Yeah, the might be the financial slash emotional hedge here because the spread as of record time 72% on the Seahawks.
Exactly my point. And then, oh, it's plus money. Let's just sprinkle something on it here just to
Yeah.
have something. Now,
Let's
I
go.
don't know. Part of me doesn't want to do that. Part of me really wants to feel the hurt when the Patriots win.
All right, so we're gonna share the screen here for the YouTube viewers. Mike Phillips on YouTube. We're gonna look at some of the anytime touchdown scorer market here. So some of these guys. So we have obviously some of the hedges here. Kenneth Walker, I think, is a minus 190 to be an anytime scorer. JSN minus 105. It's the only ones where it's negative money, and then the rest here, Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry, Barner, like goes up from there. Like any of these numbers interest you here on the touchdown market?
On these, I like to play them a little bit more for fun just because outside of like your minuses, it's just kind of a dart throw. I'm looking at Cooper Cup, man. I think this guy's a big game player. He made that pat he had a touchdown in the championship game. He had the key pass interference draw. I could see him doing it. And then another big time player. Plus, what is that? Your mouse is in the way. I think it's 370 Mac Hollins.
Yeah, Mac always has to have these like big receptions in big spots.
I mean, he could go 1 for 1, 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah. Matt Collins is a fun one to shout out here. I think obviously like one that I think Cooper Cup's also a good shout here. I think the first touchdown was always a fun one, just because they give you the odds are so much higher because it's just a
Yeah.
one in whatever shot. Like, give me the big like. Can you imagine like you get the Rashid Shaheed first touchdown at plus 1700 on a deep ball?
Oh, you could just turn the game off at that point, right?
Yeah, you can start cashing some tickets that way.
What's that? What's the plus 3,000? Is that the last touchdown?
Two plus touchdowns.
Oh, I mean, and that's another one I like to play with those where it's like, who do you see having a big game? Like, let's pick one for that. Who's your guy where it's like this guy could just go off? I mean, Smith and Jigba feels like easy.
Yeah, I would honestly say like I think somebody like I think Walker just gonna feel like they're gonna try and run the football and just control the clock against New England. I think that's an easy shout for the plus two TDs. That's why he's plus 285. I think you're looking for an interesting play there. I think Cooper Cup definitely flies in there because you figure that JSN is gonna have Christian Gonzalez showering him most of the game.
Yeah, for sure. And then I mean, that's the tough part with Seattle, though, is that Darnold, when he's going and when he's having a good game, he tends to spread it out,
Yeah.
outside of Smith and Jigba. So it's like you might want to zero in on the running backs. And then if the Patriots have a great game, maybe you just take a look at Ramondre. 2+ is a lot, though, for the Patriots and any player.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and look at some props here. So, like, what category you want to go to first? Passing, rushing? You tell me. Receiving.
Let's start with passing. Start passing.
All right. So we got some numbers here. So the yardage here, I think what are you looking for specifically? Yardage, touchdowns.
Let's do yardage. Let's start off with yardage. I had a couple in there for Darnold.
Yeah, they have Darnold at minus 109 to throw for over 230 yards, and Drake May same yardage total plus 106. So they expect Seattle to throw the ball more.
I would take over Darnold, and I'd probably just stay away from May. I just don't know what you're going to see out of him, just because I don't think you've seen really shit in the last 3 weeks. And he's like, call it what it is. He had a MVP runner-up type season, in my opinion. Like, he rode the coattails of that Patriots defense and running game to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, on the receiving front here, Jackson Smith and Jigba going over 100 yards is plus 106.
I have him at plus 90. So if you're gonna get plus money on that, though, I think you lock that in. He's a problem out there.
Yeah, especially if they can finally get him off Gonzalez a little bit. I think it's a fun spot to be in.
What's Cooper Cup? Like, that was a crazy bet for me, like kind of a more out there bet. What do you have him at like plus 80 yards?
At plus 80 plus yards, he is plus 960.
Hit parlay that with a touchdown. I got a feeling. I got a hunch.
Yeah, so you're big on the Cooper Cup's gonna have a coming out party in the big spot.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like a renaissance. Like, he just makes big plays in big moments, and obviously this is the biggest game of the year. I just think it's gonna be a Cooper Cup party.
Yeah, you can go Cooper Cup on 4+ receptions, also plus 146 add to the parlay.
Tuck it in there, man. If he's getting 80 yards and a tutty, he's definitely going over 4 receptions.
Yeah, so that's some interesting stuff on the receiving end here. Let's go about the game specials. So I think this would be these. This
Can
is
we
the
get like Shaheed? What does he have? Like return yards over?
I don't know. We're gonna take a look at some of these specials here. So obviously the Super Bowl they do all these unique prop bets. So like
Mm-hmm.
we'll go here back to the DraftKings board on here. So because let's go down some of these here. So what about your Mac Hollins here? Mac Hollins have 2+ receptions each half plus 850.
He's a he's a quality over quantity guy, man. He's like a two deep ball kind of guy, though.
Well, Mayday or Mac Attack. Either Drake May have 50+ rushing yards or Mac Hollins have 50+ receiving yards plus 1100.
Fucking lock that one in. I like that one a lot. Because you know what, I think May's hit his over. That's the one thing I will say about him. Let me just rephrase that. He has done a lot with his legs. I think he's got over 40+ yards in every game.
Yep. Let's go here. JSN season. Jackson Smith and Jigga have 4+ receptions each half plus 350.
I mean, that's one of those ones where like you could see it happening, so you just have to feel good about the odds. I would like the odds to be a little bit higher if I was going to take that one.
Yeah. I want to play the Ghostbuster, which is Sam Darnold have either 3+ passing touchdowns or 1+ rushing touchdown at plus 200. 220.
Only if you could parlay that with like 5+ Patriots sacks.
Yeah. And you can know if your Cooper Cup parlay. Cooper Cup have 25+ receiving yards in the second half plus 175.
Just to lock that in. I think it's going to be a big second half game for Cup. This guy plays in winning time.
Yeah. So I think we also need to look up here the MVP market here because I think obviously
Hmm.
the MVP board is interesting because like you can't bet it in New York State because the gambling rules are very strange in that state
What?
here. Yeah, we can't bet MVP markets in New York State
Oh, so now you got to go into your web browser and like look it up instead of the app or whatever.
or just drive to Connecticut.
Yeah, we live close enough to the border. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
Yeah, Connecticut or go to Connecticut or Jersey, you can get that covered there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look up
Or we don't know where our listeners are. Maybe some of them are, closer to PA.
yeah, for your New York listeners, I'm just pointing out.
Well, this is your pod, so
Yeah, so for the New York listeners, so the MVP market here, Sam Darnold is the favorite in that market right now. He's at plus 130 to be Super Bowl MVP. So that makes some sense in terms of,
Drake May's got to be second, right?
yeah, I'm checking the list here just to
Let
see.
me guess. Let me guess.
Hold
Once you
on.
get it. Drake May. What did you say Darnold was?
Darnold was plus 130.
All right. I'm gonna say Drake May's plus 175.
Drake May is plus 240.
Wow. You would think the quarterback on the other team, they could win. I mean, I don't know. I'm surprised by that high of a number. Who's third? JSN?
Is JSN at plus 500 and Kenneth Walker at plus 650 the next two.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, in order for a wide receiver to win the game, it would basically have to be who won? Did did Edelman win MVP?
Alvin did, a Cooper Cup did. Because it's one of those weird things with the receivers where like they
The
have,
receiver, it would basically have to be like he sucked up all the yards because the quarterback would have to not play that well.
yeah, it's like in the Cooper Cup game, Cooper Cup I think like had basically all the receptions in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it's kind of a risky bet because you're betting on like a lot of things, a lot of different scenarios that kind of have to go right. Where it's like the Seahawks have to win, Darnold has to be decent but not that good, and JSN has to be incredible.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the last 10 Super Bowl MVPs. We had Edelman and Cup, otherwise been all quarterbacks and Von Miller other than that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, in this situation, if you're going to bet on it, the play, unless you're trying to have fun, is to pick the team that you think's quarterback is going to win. Unless you think it's going to be an absolute slop fest, then pick the best defensive player on the team you think is going to win.
Yeah, and I'll also throw out people here too. Like, I don't think a running back has won Super Bowl MVP. I think since Terrell Davis. So I think that's one I would stay away from also.
It's a different league since then, so
Yeah,
yeah, I would stay away. What's Gonzalez's? I mean, he could have like three picks.
yeah. If you're a defensive player, basically you gotta be the Von Miller and have like seven, like 5 sacks and wreck the game, or you gotta like return a pick for a touchdown.
Yeah, you got to return a pick for a touchdown, but then also have another pick in the game.
Yeah, so let's see that here. So I think obviously, I think we got a pretty good handle on some of these bets here. Like, would you be parlaying any of these with Olympic action? Because we will have Olympics.
I mean, me personally, I guess I don't know. Like, let's talk some Olympics here. What do we have? Hockey, I guess.
Well, it depends. Like, I don't know what the share is the day of the game, but I think like it'll be interesting like when you could have like Super Bowl odds. And remember, NBC's airing Olympic coverage right after this, so
I mean, listen, take the Canadians in curling. That's a fact. Um, and who's a good hockey team? I would assume it's Canada, but I don't know. It's Russia's not probably not allowed.
they're not in Canada, U.S. probably two favorites.
Let's be patriotic. Canada curling champs, just because we're not going to go against them when it comes to that. USA hockey champs parlayed with Seattle minus 4.5.
You don't want to go losing. You want to have a loser in your parlay.
No, I'm not. I haven't really been into the luging lately, and it's a blind spot for me. But if you want to throw it in there, then go ahead.
Oh, we'll entertain that year, but make our actual picks of the game now. So to reset out here where we were after Championship Sunday, Troy Moriello came on the podcast and made his picks for Championship Sunday. We went heads up on the games. He went a good old 0-2. He laid the 5.5 the Pats. He took the 2.5 with the Rams. So 0-2 for Troy. 26-40 on the year for Teen Challengers. We're 7-5 in the playoffs.
Damn, you smoked them this year,
Yeah.
including myself. Smoked us this year, I guess.
Yeah. So on the other hand, I was obviously since I went heads up with Troy, I went 2-0 on the pick. So that was a fun spot for me.
9-3 in the playoffs, man. Hell of a job. I don't know what my record is. I know I went 6-0 for the first week, but I don't know where I'm at after that.
Yeah, I took the points of the Broncos, laid in with the Seahawks. So 2-0 for me on the year, 44-22 over the course of the season. and 9
That
three
might
losses.
honestly, dude, like seriously, including like the big dogs and whatever, like that might be the best record I've seen this year because everybody's right around 500.
Yeah, I've been hot this year.
I hope you're putting some cash on this stuff,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I've cashed a few parlays.
There we go. I like that.
Yeah. All right, so now we're on the board. We're gonna make our picks for the big game, which is obviously we are again locking in the line the week before the Super Bowl. So to remind everybody, the audience here, we have just remember here Sunday night on NBC 6:30 Seahawks Patriots. Seahawks here by 4.5. Tom said before, go with the Seahawks. Why?
I just think that we haven't seen anything out of New England, and I think that this team is just not good enough to beat this Seahawks defense, period. And I think if Darnold proved something last game, and I think I don't even know if there was demons there for him, but if there was, he overcame them. I think he's going to execute. I think he's going to have a 3 touchdown game again. And I think they're going to dominate this Super Bowl, to be honest with you. I think the Seahawks are going to win by a touchdown, if not more. And the game's going to be ended with Sam Darnold taking a couple knees.
Yeah. I'm with you here. We'll make this a family play to end the season here. I'm laying the
Nice.
4.5 with the Seahawks. I took the Seahawks 7 times this year. I won all seven, so I was going to keep riding them again here. I think this is a year we were kind of waiting to see who that best team is and who was peaking at the right time. For a while, we thought it's the Rams. Maybe it's the Eagles earlier this season. Maybe it's Tampa. Maybe it's Denver. It's the Seahawks. They've been the best team for a while now. I think the turning point for Darnold, I think, was week 16 in that Thursday night game against the Rams. They picked them off 4 times the first time they met. They get the overtime win. They win at week 18 to get home field. They beat San Francisco. He's got the oblique issue. Dominates the Rams here. This is the spot where you look at it and say, okay, I think he's got it. New England, a little early, a little soft schedule to get there. Don't take away credit for winning games. Winning 17 NFL games is not easy, but I think they're going up against a buzzsaw here. So I'll lay the points with you.
No doubt about it. And I mean, I feel like this might be one of those games where you look back and you say, like, once he got through the Rams, like, not to say that the Rams were the Super Bowl, but that might be the feeling that we get after this game with Darnold.
Remember, too, the Rams were the team that ended Darnold's season last year with Minnesota.
Absolutely, man. So our baby boy is growing up.
Yep. And to reset the picks for one final time, Tom and I are both laying the 4.5 with the Seahawks here. So those are your Super Bowl picks here on the podcast. And the NFL season with that coming to an end on Sunday. So
That is crazy to think, man. Time flies, and it feels good to be on the side of a guy who went freaking 44 and 22. I mean, I might as well lock it in. Should I just spend that money now?
might as well add to your Cooper Cup parlay.
I'll talk to my wife. Maybe we'll just put down something on a house. I don't know.
All right. And also, I mean, we're getting the transition here. We're getting Sunday night basketball starting this week because NBC is doing Sunday night sports throughout the year now. So our Knicks are kicking off Sunday night basketball against the Lakers here. And I have to ask you, as the and what the NBA guys over there, what exactly happened to our Knicks?
Um, you look back at it with the firing of Tibbs and the abrupt firing of Tibbs, and you get a little concerned that Dolan might be doing some of that old meddling again. Because you bring in Woodson and things look good to start, but now things look choppy. Um,
I mean, Mike Brown.
Br- oh, I'm sorry, Brown, Woodson. My God, I'm all over the place here. You bring in Mike Brown and you get off to a really, really good start, but then a few injuries happen here and there, and then you start to get the other side of Cat that we were all concerned about when he gets traded for, and now by consensus, every Knicks fan I've spoken to, they're ready for him to go. They are ready for him to go. And I mean, I was calling this stuff out when he was in Minnesota, saying, guys, like the first time that he like grabs someone's wrist as he's passing half court and gets called for a foul, you guys are going to want to murder this guy. And now he's at the point where he just looks like on defense, like he looks like he's like just dancing out there, like just doing twirls. Like it's unbelievable. Like Brunson's one thing because Brunson just doesn't have the lateral quickness sometimes to stay in front of guys, and he sucks at defense just because he's not physically able to defend the guy. Cat is a combination of that also where it's just like, how could you be such a skilled offensive player and then just on the other side of the court, it's just, I don't know, a couple feet that way, just on that other side, it just looks like you don't even know how to play the sport.
Also wild too, because this is a team that won the NBA Cup and looked like pretty dominant doing it at points, and then they just fell off a cliff after that. I know Josh Hart got hurt in there, but like that should not have just derailed the whole season.
No, especially with the way that Tyler Kolek was playing in the NBA Cup to boot. Like he should have taken off. I don't really agree with a lot of the rotations. Yabusele, you make this big signing and he's just buried on the bench. I don't know if that's more of a fit thing. But then you look back and it's like you're all excited about this team. And it's like, guys, we gave up 5 first round picks for Bridges.
Yeah, I know. And with
Like, do we have to, we can't forget that.
yeah, we cannot. That's a long-standing problem. But we have to end where we began with the Jets because while we were talking, very
Oh,
interesting thing popped up on my Twitter.
oh no, Mike.
And I think you might want to hear this one. According to Zach Rosenblatt, the beat reporter for The Athletic for the Jets reached out to one John Gruden about the idea of joining Aaron Glenn's staff, and John Gruden turned them down.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
No, 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 no. You don't call it. Are you? That's like me calling the CEO of the company I work for as Aaron Glenn. Let's say I'm Aaron Glenn in the scenario. I'm being like, hey, you want to come fucking work for me on Monday, pal? Like, I'm the CEO now. Like, this guy's won a Super Bowl. Granted, it was with Dungy's team, but at the end of the day, he executed. Did he not bring another team to the Super Bowl? This is a joke. And I know it. He did his reconciliation. We've broken that down on a past pot of years. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, you know what? We were talking about it. They just got, you know what they did for us? They took their shovel out and they just they dug another little bit deeper.
Think about this though. This is John Gruden, who was disgraced out of the league because of the email scandal with the Raiders. He's out of football for 5 years. He's in Barstool right now. The New York Jets call him and say, "Hey, you want to come back to the NFL and work for us?" Like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot I feel like that goes into that just because I believe he's like actively suing the NFL right now. So I feel like for the Jets to do that, right? Probably piss off the NFL in the meantime and then also get rejected. Like it doesn't get much better than that.
Like, like who had this idea?
It was probably one of Woody's kids or grandkids or whatever. And they were like, you should just call Gruden and say, do you want to work for Glenn? And what kind of fucking spell does Glenn have cast on these guys? Like, this isn't just 1 year. I know you give the coach the first year. This is about to be year 3, and he's only got 6 games left, anyways. Maybe that was the plan. It was like, well, we're going to fire Glenn anyways, Gruden, and then you're just going to take over as HC, so it's fine. Or they forgot to mention that to him, and if you want, call him back and let him know that you're going to fire Glenn after 6 games and that he's going to be the head coach anyways.
It's insane. Like literally, they're getting rejected by a guy like unboxing videos on Barstool.
Yeah, that literally would do anything to get back into this league. He's suing because they disparaged his name, and the Jets are like, "Hey, here's your
Golden,
key back into the room to get back into this and have your repentance or whatever you want to call it." And he said no. He said no. And let me ask you this: any other team in the NFL? I'm talking Raiders, Arizona Cardinals, Miami Dolphins. We're talking the dregs of the dregs, right? You can name them, any of them, Tennessee, whatever. Do you think if they put that offer on the table, any other team, he even thinks about saying no?
I think the Raiders he might because how it ended there.
Mm, true.
I think
A
anybody,
team without a history, though, any other team, I think he says yes.
yeah, I think if the Tennessee Titans had called him and said, "Hey, you want to be our offensive coordinator for Cam Ward?" He said, "Sure."
Absolutely. Like, but the other thing is like, do you think if the Jets offered him the head coach job, he would have taken it in a heartbeat, right?
Well, I mean, Aaron Glenn is there. His idea is like, I'm not working under Aaron Glenn.
No, of course, but that's my whole point. It's like this guy, I know he sent those emails, was wrong, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like just looking at a coach, like this is fucking John Gruden, and you guys have the nerve to say, "Hey, do you want to work for Aaron Glenn, who's won what? How many games in the NFL?
Or
He had the worst. Oh, by the way, he's just his back. What's his background? Maybe John Gruden doesn't know. Oh, he's a defensive coach. How'd he do? He had the worst defense ever, ever.
this isn't. It's very bad. Mhm.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're like, look, you want to break the record next year, break your own record of the worst defense ever.
Yeah, it's insane. But Tom, thanks for all the time. Really appreciate it. People want to follow you on social media. Keep up with you guys over on the Sorry Rep podcast. How can I do that?
Follow us on Twitter at Sorry Sports. You can check out all our links from there. Check out the Sorry to Interrupt podcast. We're running everything. Sean's running the show, hosting like a madman, but we're golf, NBA, MLB, you name it, we got it. We have we cast of characters over there. So college, whatever.
All right, Sean. I mean, Tom, thanks for all the time. Really appreciate it. Hope to catch up with you and Sean some point soon for the NBA.
Yes, I appreciate you having me on, even if it seems like every time I come on here, I get more bad Jets news.